Hi there, Annalena here, doing a video which I'm going to call The Earth is Going to Cry. And before I start, I just want to say that after rain, there is sunshine, and after tears, there is laughter. So, although I'm going to touch upon some really sad, some really heavy stuff, heavy subjects during this video, it's because I feel that it's sometimes needed to dig into it in order to get out of it. Anyway, this is how it's been for me. These last couple of weeks, especially, I'd say. So I'm just going to start by sharing what has happened. Before that, if you know my videos, you know that I have been in a twin flame connection for the past 8 years, and I have shared in my other videos some of my experiences on this journey. So anyway, I want to just really shortly sort of explain my present situation. I am renting a really cheap place. I love to write, and my plan was to make ends meet by working in night school, teaching grown-ups, and from the sale of my books and audiobooks, especially my audiobooks. So so that I could live here, I could continue to write, and I could teach grown-ups. So it's a good plan, right? But little did I know, as always, it seems that nothing really goes according to plan, and I can see the bigger picture, and I can see the good sides of things when they do not happen. But I've been challenged once again lately because I do not receive any compensation for my lost income through my teachings. So and obviously, since I based my survival on this money, I am facing once again having to move out and maybe go back to my mom. It's not a tragedy, but it can feel like that because it's been also part of my life for a very, very long time, and there are many, you know, sides. These things are not never black and white, and I love to write, and I know very well that I have been focusing on that because it feels as if I get sick if I don't do it. So anyway, the combination of teaching and writing seemed like a very good plan. So I have sort of written to my employee. I have talked to people at the Kommune. I have talked to more people on the phone, doing investigation. How come I'm not entitled to some kind of compensation for my lost income? And I'm not going to go into detail with the explanations of that. It's evening school, and the classes depend upon people signing up for them, and they don't do that because of the corona, and this is why I don't have a contract, etc., etc. This is what it comes down to. And I'm just a human being. 2 days ago, I broke down and I absolutely cried on the phone, talking to the sweetest, gentle soul ever, with a lot of sympathy. And if you have sort of tried to be threatened on your very survival when it comes to money, you know what I'm talking about. You will know. If you haven't experienced it, it's difficult to understand it. So this has brought up sort of feelings of a lack of support and lack of understanding from others. it's brought up feelings within me. Is what I'm talking about, um, and it's brought up sadness, and it's brought up like a feeling of sort of being abandoned, and and I know these are my feelings. I have talked about this in previous videos. And a little while ago, I actually spilled some hot water on my one leg, and it hurt, and I had it in cold water for a very, very long time. And just recently, I was going down the stairs, and I was thinking, okay, so now it's time that I go and look for another job. Um, and then I fell down the stairs and I hurt my knee really badly. So it's like it's how spirit works sometimes. Yesterday I even asked myself, has someone put an evil spell on me? Is there, I even, and I've had that question in my mind before, and I even asked some people about it. And the answer I got was that it's in my lineage. So it's old. It's not necessarily from this lifetime, it's older. Okay. I wanted to mention the burn and the knee, which was twisted and really, anyway, it was painful. And I have lately, and this was after the burn, what I am tuning into, because it's like this collective wound that we're all part of, and this is where it gets into some really, really dark stuff in the human history, and it's the burning of wise women and also men on the fire. And so what comes to me when I'm having these feelings, it's working through me, and I always try to ask anyway. I'm just a country girl. I ask, what can I relate these feelings to? Did I ever feel like this before in my life? And yes, and as time has passed, I go further back. And what comes to me is a woman who is in prison, and she has been convicted for crimes that she never did. She is a wise woman with the prospect of dying a very painful death. And no one can help her. So she's abandoned. She's alone, and not even her closest friends help her. And there's an atmosphere of fear created, of course, because the elite in power are capable of convicting people for crimes that they have not done, and they even torture them in order to make these probably very gentle but independently thinking souls for crimes that they never did. So This woman comes to me and she's in her prison cell and she's all alone. And she knows that she's going to die. And no one is there to help her. And I locked myself inside this small apartment that I have for a whole day. I didn't lock myself in, but I didn't go outside. I just knew I needed to work through it and to go through it. And this woman is, she's abandoned by anyone, by everyone she feels. And remember that this happened, and these people, they had moms and dads, and they had siblings, and they had friends, and they were convicted, and they were put in the fire. And I saw some pictures, and to some it must have been a very painful death, a very, very painful death, with the flames, hitting their feet first. So, and I cry for this woman. I cry for this woman who was abandoned. And I know that my own situation is nowhere like that, but it brings up the same kind of feelings. And I say to this woman, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And please forgive me. Please forgive me. And then I love you. And I love you. And I love you. And thank you. And this is some sort of ancestral healing. And it's part of a collective wound that we are all part of. And obviously this twin flame journey has made me so sensitive that I feel these things, and I see these things also in other people, where the wound comes from. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And the reason why I am sharing this open-heartedly, like I do in this video, my intention is really to focus on the link between what you and I are going through in this life and this collective wound that we're all a part of. And I can lie in my bed and I can cry about a woman who was abandoned and who was a wise and sweet soul with a big heart and lots of wisdom, and who was unjustly convicted for crimes, and who suffered the most painful death. I can lie in my bed and I can cry. So this is what I mean when I say that the earth is going to cry, because of what we have done to each other, because of what we as human beings have done to each other, and what we as human beings are still doing to each other. If this video reached you, if you watch this, I'm just like you. I'm a human being, and I break down and cry, and I really find this lifetime challenging. And when I work through it, like I have done with this experience, I have sort of emotionally cleared some of it. And sometimes I ask myself, okay, what's next? What's coming next? But always know that it will pass. It will pass. And I say to myself, okay, where's your power? Stay in your power. Fight for your rights. And but to have a real cry out is to be in your power as well. There's a lot of healing in those tears, right? And one of my spirit names, the one which has been given to me by 3 wise women, like independently from each other, is the Rainbow Woman. And I remember one of them said, it's going to take a lot of rain to become a rainbow. To rain, it's like the tears, right? Yeah. Well, those were the words for today. Sending you lots of blessings, and take care out there. Bye.